What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to another FM20 video, and I'm pleased to say finally that the RB Barna database and graphics are available for you guys to download and play on your own FM. Now, you can find all the download stuff down below. Today I'm going to show you how to install it, what's included in the download, how to set it up, just, you know, or anything and everything that you could probably need to know about it. We'll talk a little bit as well about exactly how it's all set up, although to cover that in a singular video is quite a difficult task. So anyway, RB Barna, you guys know the series. If you don't know it and you're stumbling across this, I'll put a series playlist, I guess, down in the description, but it is our new Let's Play here in Spain. We've replaced Celta Vigo with this side in La Liga. So anyway, first things first, I know people are going to want to know, how do I install this? Down below there is going to be a link to a MediaFire download link. That download will include a RAR file, which is a zip file. If you're not familiar with this file format or anything, I'll have some additional instructions down in the description, but if you have WinRAR or 7-zip or an archiving software, you're going to be kind of familiar. You're going to need to come to your Football Manager 2020 user data folder. Yours will be in a different location to what mine is here. However, again, I'll have it linked down below where you can find that. I feel like the written instructions will be beneficial as well as watching this video. So yeah, you'll have a zip file. This is what's included in the download, and what you're going to do is, if you extract this file, it is a folder, and within this folder there are a few different files. So we've got kits, logos and stadiums, and then this .fmf file. So in each of these folders there are different graphic elements. We have the kits here, we have the logos here, both the normal size and the smaller size. The reason for the fact that there is two different ones is that these are for Celta Vigo's regular team and Celta Vigo B. Both of them have been edited as part of this database, and you're just going to take these three folders. You're going to go to your FM user datas folder and put them in your graphics, and you'll just paste them in. You can see I already have mine here. They're in this folder, and it is very, very important that with these that you still have the config file. If you already have a logo pack installed, what I would recommend you do is you go to the logos and grab the actual PNGs themselves included in the download, and then paste them into the folder that your graphics pack and your logo pack uses. Otherwise, you might run into some issues, because if you've got a graphics pack that adds in Celta Vigo logos, and then you're just, you know, pasting in an additional set, the game gets a little bit confused. So just for example here, we have my TCM logos, which I use. As with all my graphics, they are linked down below. And I believe somewhere in here, we don't need these icons so big, do we? But somewhere in here, there is going to be the RB Barna ones as well. Yeah, you can see here, 1724, I believe is Celta Vigo's ID number. So if you've got a logo pack, make sure to overwrite the ones in your logo pack with the ones included in this download. You can't just delete them from this folder. For example, if you had the TCM logos, you can't just delete them. That will cause you a hell of a lot of problems when it comes to the actual graphics. They might not show up in game. I realise for some of you guys this kind of information is going to be obvious, but I just want to, you know, try and minimise the amount of confusion involved in all of this. So yes, the three folders are going to go into your graphics, and of course the other file that we have is a .fmf file. Now this is an editor data file. This needs to go in user data, editor data, and you can see here I've got a few different files, including some potential experiments on the horizon. So yes, we've got Red Bull Barna or Red Bull Barcelona here, the .fmf file. That's going to go in your user data file, and that's all you need to do in terms of the install. So in the download, three folders: kits, stadium pack, logo pack. They go in graphics. The .fmf file goes in editor data, and if you've done that all correctly, if I just quickly quit to the start screen, when you start an FM save, you're going to come to database at the top here, and you just need to make sure that the RB Barna file is ticked. As simple as that, he says. I'm hoping that there's no questions. If you follow it correctly, it will just work. This isn't, I should mention as well, this won't work with FM Touch or mobile or anything like that. This is just for full fat FM. The reason I'm going through these steps like this is because I don't want thousands or hundreds of people asking me, it's not working for me, please help, because I just want to make sure the instructions are nice and clear for you guys. If it isn't working, you've not followed a step correctly. That's kind of the bottom line here. Anyway, That's how to install it. You'll just set up a game as usual and Celta Vigo will be replaced. If you've got a real name fix file, you will need to edit the real name fix to remove the Celta Vigo real name kind of apply thing. I'm not going to cover that here. If you don't use a real name fix, don't worry about it. But if the team's called Celta Vigo, yeah, you might need to touch that stuff as well. I'm not going to cover that here. But anyway, this is the FM editor. If you're not familiar with this, it's included with any purchase of the full fat FM. You can find it in your Steam tools. It's called FM 2020 Editor. And this is where you can create custom databases. So first thing you'll do when you open it is it will load up the default Football Manager database. Nothing too crazy about that. This is the entire database for the game, all the players, all that stuff. You then need to go to Load Editor Data. And then we are just going to load RB Barna Share. And the reason it's called Share is because I've had a few different versions where I've been fixing bugs and stuff. And I know that the Share one is the one that you guys are going to have access to. So the way that this was done was kind of simple. In terms of, we found the club Celta Vigo, which will now be named RB Barna, and we just renamed them. So previously, if you were to search any club here, you can access them. And within here, you can change the information. So I know, for example, lots of people were like, the nickname should be Spanish. If you wanted to call them the Bulls in Spanish, that's how you would do it. Within here, you can change stuff like the colour, the city the team's based in. If you wanted to just use this as a base for your own stuff, you could do. You have stuff like the stadium, which I had to find the stadium. Fortunately, the Estadi Olympic Luis Companys already exists in Football Manager's database of stadiums because it was formerly used by Espanyol, but you could go to database stadiums here and you could add a new stadium in if you wanted. I'm just going to call it the stadium, and then you could edit all this other stuff. I don't want to go too much into detail with this because the database editor is just a crazy powerful tool that, to be honest, you could probably do 100 videos on it and not cover everything, and a lot of it is just trial and error. I realise I've just called a stadium the stadium now. Where is it? It's here. Right, I'm going to delete the stadium. Where is it? There it is. So there's the stadium that we created. It has a unique ID. If you wanted to create a graphics pack, that's the ID it would use. And yeah, this is how we did things. So I can show you a little bit of the under the hood stuff about Red Bull Barcelona. You can see here we've got all their stuff set up here, founded 2019. As I said, I took Celta Vigo's stuff rather than creating a new team, so they use Celta Vigo's unique ID. You are able to create your own club, but in Spain, with B teams being a thing, it would be an absolute nightmare to try and set stuff up to get a B team added. Adding in your own custom team and removing a real team is enough of a faff because there are various little things that you have to work around. But yeah, adding in a new team is more difficult than just editing an existing team, which is what we decided to do. So you can see here we have stuff like finances. These were based off basically what Red Bull Leipzig have. So I used Red Bull Leipzig's kit sponsors. You can just copy stuff from here. So you can edit copy income and then apply it to another team. And then obviously you have the players. If you were to go to Red Bull Barcelona, then come down to players. And you can see all the players in the team as well. So if perhaps you thought that I made the team too easy to manage, or maybe there's a player that you would like to include in the team, you could add them in here. Simple enough. I don't think... Oh, yeah, you do just hit add player. So say I wanted to add in Ronaldo. That's just a silly example. Ronaldo's a common name. But if you want to add in any old Ronaldo, you could just go here, hit OK, and it would add them in. Equally, you could just click on a player and hit remove. Or if you didn't want to make them a free agent, say we wanted to move Hadara back to Leipzig, you could double click on him. This then opens up the players editor panel. You can then come to club contract, and where it says Red Bull Barcelona at the top, you could search for Leipzig. I feel like a lot of this, some of you guys will have used the editor before. It's fairly simple once you get used to it, and I think everyone who uses the editor, the basic stuff is pretty much self-taught in it. You can do some crazy stuff in this, like creating custom competitions, creating your own countries. It gets very, very complicated very, very quickly, and Football Manager is coded in such a way that some things can be quite difficult. You can at any point click at database changes up here, and then you can see all the changes that have been made to a team. So you can see different things that we edited. You're able to test different fixes. You can see different people we edited. I think these were all people we just removed from the club, all the former staff members. Obviously, Haaland, we changed his club that he was contracted to. That's what all these changes are for individual players. Some of these were removed from Celta Vigo. Yeah, there's so much that you can do here, and it's kind of a little bit crazy. And part of me wants to just maybe do some more videos in the editor, just showing the actual process. But it is kind of tricky, and it's not really made for this video. If you wanted to load up the editor data file, the .fmf included, you could do that. You would just load up this tool, load database, then load the editor data, select the file that I've provided in the download, and then it would just work all perfectly for you, and you can make any such changes that you wanted to this stuff. But anyway, this is the FM editor. If you've never seen this before, it's kind of fun just to have a poke around, and I recommend that anyone give it a go. Obviously, you don't have to create Red Bull Barcelona. You could simply add in yourself as a player. You could just go database, people, add, player. Let's just WorkTheSpace. I can't type, but yeah, you could create a player. I don't know why we've made his full name that, his first name that, but yeah, from here you can change stuff like attributes. You can change general positions they play. This is what Football Manager uses when it's creating all the players. There are researchers for each and every team, and their job is to maintain all this information for every player who plays at the club that they're the researcher for, or the league that they're the researcher for, or dare I say it, for the truly hardcore, the nation that they're dedicated for. I know that in Oceania, a load of guys this year have done a load of data work on Oceanic players. I don't know how many changes they've done, but my understanding is it's been a crazy amount. And I don't know how those people do it, but I mean, you have to respect their dedication. But anyway, that is enough about RB Barna and the basics about how it was all set up. As I said, feel free to check it out. I don't want the comment section to descend into a tech support thing. Please, if you have any issues, check the description, follow the instructions. If you still have problems, check them again. I will offer help to people who are really struggling. And if you're very, very precise in your problem, but please understand there is only one of me. There are thousands of you who will be downloading and trying to get this working. It won't work flawlessly for all of you. Patreon supporters have had access to this for a little while. For most of them, it's worked absolutely fine. So fingers crossed, touch wood, I've done all the testing I can. This explanation today has been good enough for you guys. And yeah, you can enjoy the database for yourself. But anyway, that is all from me today. If you've watched until this point, thank you for putting up with my rambling over the editor. I hope you learned something new. Yeah, that is going to be all from me today. Drop a like on the video. Let me know any comments you have, thoughts on the database, or maybe any questions you have about the editor. I'm kind of happy to answer those. But yeah, that's going to be all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.